Wait on him. Hit it!
All right, Rocket football fans, welcome to another Crittenden County Rocket Football Coaches Show with Coach Gaige Courtney, presented by Whitetail Properties and a number of other partners, and we will mention some of those in a bit. But we have a couple of guests, as we have done typically this season, a couple of guys from the football team. So we have Nate Faith and Slammin' Sammy Impastato, and we'll talk a little bit about how he got that nickname in a little bit. But they're both seniors on the Rocket football team, and we'll get some insight from these guys. But first, we want to talk to Coach Courtney a little bit about Liberty Creek High School. Coach Courtney, this is a team that never have seen before. And do we have a 2-year contract with them?
No.
Will we ever see them again?
Probably not.
Probably not. But they're not a very big school, probably about our size, 580 enrollment, maybe a little bit bigger than Crittenden County. But it's a brand new school. It's an expansion school in Sumner County, right outside of Nashville. And this is a team that was put together with all new players. I mean, these guys, I'll talk a little bit about that. I've got some intel from some guys down there. But it was put together by players maybe that played on other teams. They could declare and go to this school. They had to go into a lottery type deal. I get this information from Brian O'Neill, who was a quarterback here back in the late 80s, early 90s time period. And then Barry Baird, another guy who played here back in the 80s. And probably around 90 graduated, and he has a child there. And Brian coaches at a nearby school. He's still coaching some baseball and basketball, I think. But then Billy Fitzgerald's daughter goes there, and Billy's from Crittenden County. So we have some connections, and all these people down there have been texting me and saying they're going to be at the game. They can't wait to see the Rockets. What do you know about them?
Not a whole lot of that stuff. When we first got the contract, I kind of looked into the lottery and where they'd be pulling kids from Gallatin and Beach High School and kind of what that looked like.
Good schools.
Yeah, good schools around it. But I knew that talking to their superintendent when we got the game, be a lot of young kids, freshmen and sophomores, and then would lottery out their older kids, which I don't know how much I even completely understood it. But at the end of the day, we just need the game, and they need the game, and it was close enough. So it seems like a really nice facility. All those things. I think it's going to be a cool experience to go down there and play. As far as their film, it's hard to get a complete read for me on them because we don't know the teams they're playing very well. They pretty much handle one team in film, and the other film's a little outside of the other way. I will say that they're very well coached, got some good athletes. But to say exactly how good they are, it's kind of honestly hard for me to tell. It's going to be one of those things we're going to have to fill out on Friday night.
Well, Coach Bill Alexander, he's the head coach there, and Brian O'Neill, I'll get this from him as well. He was at the school at Brian's at Beach for a time, and then Coach Alexander went over to Davidson Academy down around Nashville too, and was on a staff that won 3 state championships. So he comes very well credentialed, and everybody down there tells me he is a good coach. So. Yeah. And when you got can you imagine coaching at a school where everybody that comes in is new to your program? So just terminology and things. Right. It takes a long time, and these kids didn't come in until August.
Right. Yeah, they got a late start, but it is kind of cool for him. He gets to lay his foundation, like exactly how he wants it. He's the first one, team one, like everything. That idea, and I would say it'd be appealing to a lot of coaches, and probably was him to get to just completely have it. The program from the very start, exactly how you want it. So, there's but obviously some bad with that as well, is getting a late start on it. I got a feeling that team's going to be a really good football team, like really, really good in the future with where they're pulling from and with that coach and those facilities. I'd say everything is up, that they're just going to continue to get better and better as history goes.
Well, it's in Gallatin, and Gallatin's got a great football team, a lot of tradition down there, and then this team has played some very good teams. From what I understand, being an expansion school, and playing their first season, they really didn't have a lot of choice. A lot of teams already have their contracts or 2-year deals, so they had to just take, and that's why they ended up with us. But they ended up, I think a couple of the other teams they've played are expansion schools too. First year, I think one or two of them were private schools. But then they had to play all the big boys that nobody else want to play. So, they've played some teams that are top 5 in Class A and Class 4A and 5A down in Tennessee. And then they play Jackson Central Mary, which is traditionally a great team out of Jackson, but they're kind of rebuilding right now. And that's one of their wins. So they have 2 wins and 3 losses, and they'll come into this game hungry as we are, I guess.
Yeah. I think both teams will be, looking for that opportunity to pick up a win. I think it'll mean a lot for both of us this game.
Now, the quarterback, from what I understand from talking to some of my folks down there, they say he can throw the ball pretty good. He's pretty good athlete.
Yeah, he stands out on film. Good athlete, move around. Looks to be pretty prototypical. I don't know his size, but he's a big kid, moves well, throws well. I think offensively they're really built on running the football and a lot of play action stuff, and it's good for them. Like I said, really well coached, a lot of motions and shifts and different formations and trying to get numbers and stuff. So we're going to be really sharp playing this offense. So
they're going to spread it out on them.
Some, yeah, and just a lot of movement, pre-snap movement from one formation to another that could be tough defensively if we're not prepared for it or if we're not playing with the right eyes, things like that. Just little things that can get you undisciplined. Just very well coached, and quarterback is definitely a pretty good player.
Well, he's completed 43 of 68 passes. Yeah. That's an incredible efficiency. Now, not a lot of yards, 427 yards, 5 TDs.
But he's good, and I think a lot of that is also those play action, run the ball a lot and get the ball out quick, get it in the flat, roll out passes, things like that. But efficient offense, good offense, and a good player.
They've got 3 guys that typically run the ball, all of them over 100 yards rushing. Number 22, Jake Barbudo, I think is kind of.
He seems to be their lead back. Yeah, pretty fast kid, runs hard, downhill, hits it right now. Something about him for sure is that they play hard everywhere. All of them run hard, play hard, tackle hard, block hard. Everything is just that they go hard. And anytime you're playing a team that plays that hard, it can be tough. And that guy runs hard. And we had 24 missed tackles last week, so that's a big emphasis. And he's have to be one of the ones we got to get on the ground.
Yeah. We'll take just a pause here to recognize some of our partners that help us bring to you the Coaches Show every week and all of our digital products that we provide you during football season. Of course, Whitetail Properties, our primary partner in this, broker and agent Mark Williams, where you can find your middle of nowhere. This is a good time to be in the middle of nowhere with the seasons changing, deer season coming up. You guys deer hunt.
I do not.
You know, we'll have to work on you on that, Matthew. So Seaplant Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative here with an office here in Marion, Kentucky. Colonel Ag, of course, they're busy right now, right in the middle of harvest season. If you need your tractor or any of your equipment worked on, small or large, call Corey or Blake Colonel Ag. Farmers Bank and Trust Company, been on the same street corner since 1899. That's before some of you were born. Farmers Bank and Trust, big partner with Rocket Football over the years, and we appreciate all they do. Par 4 Plastics, another great partner. They make all sorts of gadgets and gizmos out there for cars, Toyota, Volkswagen, Walmart laundry baskets. We don't realize how much stuff is made out there that's sent out all over the country. And, of course, Charlie Day, lending agent down at First United Bank. First United Bank is on Main Street in Marion. I want to jump over here and talk to these two guys and tell me what you're saying. I know you're watching a lot of huddle film, right? You've watched Liberty Creek. Give me a scouting report on them, Slam and Sammy.
Man, they have a good play action game, just like Coach Courtney said.
Wait, let me back up. So this is Nate talking now. I just want to make sure everybody realizes it's Nate. Go ahead.
Nate's ready.
Please go ahead. Jump right in there.
You said Slim, so
yeah.
Well, they do have a good play action game, like Coach Courtney said. Number 22 they're great runners, hard in the hole. The short routes are really going to hit our defense hard, but I think our defense going to be able to withstand them and get a good stop.
So the defense kind of struggled a little bit last week, Nate, and I know Coach Courtney wants to see a better performance this week out of them. Who's your pick to click? Who's got to play really well for us to beat this team?
I think Preston Morganson has to have a good game this week. I think Sammy has to have a good game this week. I think the defense and the whole has to have a good game just to be able to stop these guys.
Yeah.
I think we need to come together as a team.
Yeah, so Sam, of course, Sammy, and Slammin' Sammy. You know, you got a nickname back when you were a wee little ball player. I think maybe I may have been the one that came up with that.
You're the one that came up with it.
So Slammin' Sammy Impastato was a good baseball player back in the day too, and he's kind of concentrating on football now, and we enjoy watching him play. And tell us about you shaved your head, Sam.
My friend's mother has cancer again, and I shaved my head for her.
In support of her,
Cancer.
a lot of prayers for her. Yeah.
Please
I don't know if you want to mention her name or
Vicky Kirk.
Vicky Kirk. Yeah. So Jada Robbie Kirk's wife. So many prayers for her, and it's awesome to see that. Are you and others shaving your head in support?
It was just me.
Yeah. Well, bless your heart. Good for you. Nice gesture. So let's move off to the good-hearted stuff and talk about how we're going to beat this team this week. What do we need to do to beat Liberty Creek? I know you've watched them on Huddle.
I don't know much, but they got me playing in this week, and I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played in since Webster, I think.
Probably so, yeah.
Yeah.
Want me to
So
rotate around.
now, are you moving to in just because it's something that you think you can be able to do, or is it some personnel type issues?
So they don't double team me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't want to give away too much.
That's okay.
Yeah.
He's a really good player, and down there at nose, it's a lot easier for them to get double teams on him. You move him to end where he's able to slant and move right to left a lot more. It'll be a lot harder for him to have to take on as many double teams. So we're just trying to free him up a little bit, and hopefully see how that looks this week. Get him in there, some more action. Get him on some one-on-one situations down there in the box.
Of course, you've carried the football some this year too, and I know you enjoy that. Kind of, we go to our heavy package, or sometimes he'll run it anywhere. He's the man on a mission when he's got the football.
Yeah, he is.
So I believe you've also caught a pass or two, hadn't you, Sam? I believe
Big
one.
catch at Webster, right? Didn't you have a big
Yes,
catching game?
that's
at
right.
Webster?
Yeah,
Catch at Webster.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So that was a first for you, wasn't it? Out of
Yeah,
your
it was,
football
yeah.
career. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, why did you say, all right, at some point in your career, you played baseball? You didn't play basketball, I don't believe.
I don't play basketball.
Yeah, us
good.
guys that are 5'10" and shorter, we're not real good on the basketball court. So why did you develop this love for football and say, this is going to be my sport and I'm going to stick with this one?
I always wanted to play ever since second grade just because everybody did it. And I didn't get to play till my fourth grade year. I just love football. Everybody got to play it. And I just finally got my grades up to where I could. And it just clicked once I started playing.
So Mom laid the law down.
Yeah,
on
she
you.
laid the
You
law
can
down.
play football if you get your grades up. Back when I was coaching some of the little league, there were a number of kids in that same boat, and that's great. That's great that parents hold you accountable because you have to pass. Was it 4 classes in order to play? Isn't it right?
Yeah.
We have a school something like that.
Yeah.
To be passed. Yeah.
I think she was more afraid that I was going to get hurt, but
Yeah, well, I was going to mention that was kind of maybe the underlying reason a lot of them were. But hey, whatever it takes to motivate you, and then they let you, you do that. It motivates you to work hard in the classroom, and you're rewarded. And she stuck with it and allowed you to play. Now, Grandpa is a big fan of yours too, David Leneve. I see him in
sir.
every football game. He's an old Army veteran and a preacher, and we'll always enjoy seeing him there. So after the football game, we kind of have a tradition of everybody just kind of huddles up and takes pictures of one another. Talk a little bit about that and how special that is after the game with your families around.
Oh, it's so special. Once I see my dad, I run up to him and we just bear hug each other, and he prays over me, and we just have this special moment with each other that's pure, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. Now, Nate, let's talk a little bit about you and your background too. You came out this year as your first year to play football,
Yes,
and your background is in track.
Yeah.
So, where did you get to the point that you morphed into a football player? Did you just have some buddies that kind of, put some pressure on you? And of course, you're fast. And talk a little bit about that.
I've always liked the game of football. I've always watched football on TV on Sundays, college ball, and I always went to all the football games in the pep section, just cheering the team on. So I thought, might as well my last year, just try it out.
Yeah, how's it going?
I like it.
What's your favorite part?
Just the practices, and when we get to the game, everybody coming together.
Pretty special on Friday night to be on the sideline and rocket football.
It's a lot different than the crowd.
Yeah, you don't have that kind of crowd at a track and field meet down at the Oval, do you?
Not even close.
It's unbelievable, really. It's a special time, and we are very proud and humbled to be part of such a program with such great tradition. Want to take just a moment and again recognize some of our partners who are part of this tradition, and they feel the love and want to pass it along to the football program, and they support these guys, allowing us to bring this coaches show and other things every week. So Frazier Law Office in Marion, Kentucky, see Bart Frazier and his staff for all your legal needs. Riley Tool and Machine, of course, Todd Riley's very involved. He's the voice of the Rockets and does such a tremendous job on Friday nights. At home games. H&H Home and Hardware is like our little department store here in Marion, Kentucky. Well, it's not little, it's pretty good size, and you can find just about anything you need for whatever project you've got going at home. The former Marion Country Club is the Heritage Golf Course. Of course, they have Mulligan's Restaurant, they have billiards, bingo, swimming pool, golf, and now disc golf out there as well. So if you're a disc golf fan, a lot of them, that's a growing sport. Tanner Tabor has all of your insurance needs at YTG Insurance on Gum Street in Marion, Kentucky. And, of course, get all your game day gear at Hodges Sports and Apparel, one of the favorite stops for our Rocket fans down on Sturgis Road here in Marion. Coach Courtney, let's jump back into maybe kind of a refresher on last week. The Bethlehem game kind of got out of hand late. We were in the game, but you weren't too pleased with the defense. Talk just a little bit about that and kind of what kind of adjustments and what you're doing to kind of get some more energy out of the defense this week.
Yeah, you kind of went to a new approach last week of a lot of different calls and doing a lot of different things defensively. And I think, and that's on me, I think a lot of it come back on me really watching the film. I really had us in a lot of bad spots and just tried a different approach maybe to the game than normal. I don't know. Last week I kind of take on myself more than them. One thing that we do got to definitely do better is tackle better. Always defense, you have to tackle. We have 24 missed tackles. You're not going to win very many football games like that.
And the week before we had three or four?
7, I think. 7, but against
but
the 7's really good against a really good team. And not that Bethlehem isn't really good. They have some really good players as well. But no excuse to have that many missed tackles. So just getting back to the fundamentals, I think being more comfortable in the situations, which we talk about checking formations a lot, and that means we know exactly when they come out in this, we're in this. Something we didn't do against Bethlehem at all. We just played a bunch of different calls, and I think we weren't as comfortable in those different situations. We're misaligned a lot. A couple 4th and 15, we literally just don't cover a guy at all. We're in man coverage, just get confused and just leave them wide open and touchdown. So just some crazy stuff that hadn't normally happened. And I think a lot of it really comes back down to me. So just getting back the way that we were doing things in the past. And besides that, a few little adjustments, like Sammy moving to end. There's a couple more adjustments like that just to kind of create better matchups for us. But besides that, we're just going to go out and play like normal. This team showed that we can play good defense. We just got to consistently do it, and it'll just be another week to show that we can consistently do it.
So bring us up to speed. I know Zach Counts, a senior lineman and a guy we really rely on every down. Tell us about his status. He got injured last week.
Yeah, it's broke or fractured something down in his foot, ankle. I'm not sure exactly the medical terms of what's going on or the timeline. He's certainly out this week. He went yesterday, and he's in a boot, didn't get a timeline. He's got to go back next week, and hopefully we'll get that timeline, kind of see how things are going. Doesn't look like any surgery or anything like that, so that's good news. Nothing to the Achilles, which they were scared of in the beginning, which is great news as well. So there's some good news in it, but obviously losing Zach is really bad for this team. It's already hurting bad up front, and then you lose one of your captain leaders up there, one guy that can get everybody in the right spots, and obviously he's a physical specimen on his own. He just really wins his one-on-one matchups and dominates the guy in front of him. So, we're down to whatever now. No seniors up front. Lost 5 of our top 6, I believe, up front. So, we just got to keep plugging along. Next guy up. It's just tough. It's a year that injuries are really piling up for us up front. But the guys that have stepped in, and Coach Brown needs to be worth mentioning. The job that he's done up front is outstanding. I mean, for us to be able to rush for, I don't remember what it was, but over 100 yards last week. And just each week it seems to be, we're like, what are we going to do? Another one's down. And he just keeps, getting the next guy ready. And obviously hats off to the guys that are having to go in. But tough loss this week with Zach. A really, really tough loss. And we hope that he can get back, but we just don't know that yet.
And like you said, it's just a patchwork of guys that before the season, some of them weren't even showing up on the depth chart, and now they're in there starting.
Right.
Take us through up front some of those guys that are really stepping up and hearing their number called and giving you a good effort.
Yeah, Grayson James probably stands out the first. He's the one that's left, in the beginning that's made it to every game and played them all. And
he's the only guy.
He's the only guy that's left that's played in all the games up there, and he's been extremely solid. He was one of our questions, quite frankly, going into the year, how he would do up there. And he's been absolutely outstanding from every aspect. And he's our solid person up there probably now, the one that's been up there the most that we expected to be, that knows what's going on, all those things.
We got to be careful talking about him. He might get that.
That's true.
And he'll be the next man down.
Yeah.
So,
and you got Lane West, who's been out there a lot, who's just been great for us. The effort he plays with is outstanding. Such a great kid and plays so hard and really picked up well on the offensive line. He's definitely been very, very solid for him. Without him, I don't know where we're at. He's another guy that's been very durable for us in there. As soon as the injury started, he was the first one to go in. Then you got Bazina, who's at the other guard, who started the year, who's been out some, but he's been consistent as well and played pretty well up there when he's got his chances. Brand Sassy came in and started a long time now. He seems like a veteran at this point with what we got going on, and obviously he's been lineman of the week and played well. And then you have Phoenix, Clayton, and Caden Travis, who come in last week, basically rotating in that guard position, who both end up being linemen of the week. We're both really ready to step up and continue to have to step up this week. So that's where we're at right now, and there's a couple others that we're starting to get ready as well. You need 7 or 8 down there. We have 6 that have played, so we'll see how we go. Hopefully our luck changes a little bit up front there.
Yeah. So I'll pose a question to you guys. We'll start, Nate, over there with you. Who of these young guys who are stepping up and playing, which one is surprised you or you're didn't know they had it in them, and man, they just come into the game and really are making things happen. Who is it, Nate?
It's got to be Brand Sassy.
Brand Sassy.
I saw Brand Sassy in the summer.
Can you spell his last name?
I cannot.
Me either.
Or Phoenix Clayton back in the summer.
Yeah,
he was struggling on the gassers, but now he's out there just putting the work. He's a good lineman, real good.
Yeah. What are you seeing, Sam?
I'm going to say Brand Sassy.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you see out of him? And he's a freshman.
I mean, when he's on the scout team, I go up against him. He usually blocks me pretty good.
Mm-hmm. He's a big kid. He gets on you. He's hard to get off.
Yeah, he's pretty hard to get off.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me Brock Langston vibes.
Oh, really?
Kind of reminds me of Brock Langston a little bit.
Good player up front. Take this moment here again to recognize our partners, of course, Whitetail Properties, broker and agent Mark Williams. Johnson's Furniture and Appliance. You can shop for local appliances and furniture here at a family-owned store on Main Street in Marion. Serena Dickerson, your personal trainer at Full Body Fitness Studio, and she's also the Booster Club president and has been for many years and does a great job of keeping things organized for the Rocket football program. Clark's Marion True Value, of course, under new ownership this year and being very proactive in the community, and we appreciate them. It's a full-service lumber and hardware and steel dealer that's still like chainsaws and weed eaters and such. Of course, the La Delicia restaurant out at Darvin Plaza. It's open 7 days a week, so you can go out there on Sunday afternoon, go after church. And Deer Lakes Golf Course. Rick Hughes down at Deer Lakes Golf Course. Check out the 18-hole course, and they have a lot of tournaments going on. We had some of our folks go down there last weekend and win a couples tournament. So we've got a big game coming up this week down in Tennessee. Again, it's an opponent we've never seen before, may never see again. Of course, everybody that's seen them this year, they're a brand new opponent too.
Right, everybody.
going into this game, Coach Courtney, talk a little bit. Just what do you think we have to do? I mean, what can we do against them? Do you feel like, and what have we got to do a better job at for sure to win this football game?
Defensively, we have to tackle better, and we have to turn them over. That's two things that we haven't done very good, at least last week. And turnovers has been just a big thing, and it goes offense and defense.
And that's something you really pride yourself on.
That's what I feel like the number one thing of the program is protecting the ball and taking the ball away. That's what I believe, and we've not did a great job at that. So that's really big going this week. And offensively, taking care of the football, and even with this line, the new line, we got to be able to establish the run as always. I think Sammy talked about coming together as a team. I do think that we're at a point we really have to start meshing together no matter what happens. Just everybody, not the 11, offense, defense, everybody coming together. I think it's that time that we start coming together all as one. I think that's going to be important going into district play, just to make sure that we're the team first. Everybody's focused just on the team, not themselves. We're getting the ball, not getting the ball, things going your way, whatever it is, just sticking together as one and seeing how far we can go. To make a run, that's what's going to happen. It's not going to come down to X's and O's or this or that. It's just going to come to them guys deciding they all want to come together as one team.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we are winding down the regular season, getting into the portion of the schedule where we play our district opponents. After this week, we will play Fulton County at home, and then we'll go to Russellville. Those will be our only 2 district games, of course, this year. 3-team district, and then we'll close out the season with Louisville DeSales. But Fulton and Russellville played last week, and Russellville won that game in overtime. So both teams are going to be formidable opponents for us.
Yeah, I believe so. Both got good athletes and some size. But yeah, I think they both, Fulton County's won some games and been in some games, and then Russellville's really just played a juggernaut of a schedule, and you see when they go down to their district play how they were ready for it. So yeah, I think 2 good football teams will have to play well against that to beat.
So give us a rundown here. Liberty Creek, it's of course new. We've never been here. What's the game time? What's the ticket situation?
The ticket link is on the football page. I just sent it out just earlier, and also
I'll try to get that on our website here too.
The address, I'm not sure exactly the address. I did receive it, though. I don't think I put it up on the football page, but I'll get that out there, too, to make sure everybody can get to the
You're saying,
stadium.
is it the football Facebook page? Is that
Yes, on the football Facebook page, yes.
And we'll try to get it on the Rocket website here, all that information.
But tickets are on, I believe it's GoFan, but they are virtual tickets. You have to get your
what about game time? Is it our normal time?
Yeah, still on Central Time, 7 o'clock.
But, I mean, is it a 7 o'clock
7
start?
o'clock, yes.
Yeah, 7 o'clock start. So, take you a couple of hours to get down there. That Nashville traffic on Friday afternoon is going to be pretty tight, so allow some time. Maybe go down a little early, enjoy yourself around Nashville a little bit. You guys looking forward to this football game, I guess, and seeing these facilities. They say it's the greatest high school facility in the state of Tennessee.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm ready to see it. Yeah,
2 weeks in a row on a turf field.
Yeah, is this turf for sure? I assumed it was, but on film I couldn't tell 100%.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've heard it was, but
okay.
I'm not
100% sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, again, for Whitetail Properties and all of our other partners that help us make sure you have the latest on Rocket football. We appreciate Nate Faith for coming in and Slamming Sammy for coming in, and of course Coach Courtney. And we'll see you Friday night down in Nashville, 7 o'clock kickoff.